Welcome to the Mike Litton Experience podcast. Mike has over 31 years experience in real estate, finance, and investing. He's passionate about being a father, a teacher, a realtor, an investor, and a leader. Everyone has a story, and our passion is to help them tell it. And now, introducing the host of the Mike Litton Experience, Mike Litton.
So what can you expect from the Mike Litton Experience? You can expect stories that will inspire, motivate, advice that will sharpen your focus, and expert information on real estate, finance, and market conditions. So
I'd love to. Yeah.
we're super excited to have you. We're super excited to sit down with you and go over all that. And you're right. You know, there's a real lack of education. So I have a question for you. And I don't want to upset you, but
Okay.
I do have a question that you're probably going to be a little uncomfortable with. When you went to Los Angeles to that orientation, what was it that made you repel from there? What was it that happened that, I mean, we're not going to talk about the name of the company or any of that kind of
No,
stuff.
that's okay. You think about a financial institution or a company that manages a lot of assets.
Mhm.
You do want a certain amount of I mean, this office, there was holes in the wall, stains on the floor. People didn't even have a desk. But the number one lead guy, head guy in Los Angeles gives his spiel and literally says to us, and here I am, and this might sound snotty, I'm 35, I'm booted and suited, I'm looking good, and there's like, everyone else in that room is like 18, wearing their first collared shirt, they probably got it like Marshalls. That sounds snotty, I get it, but you have to understand, we manage a lot of money. There should be a certain, all that was fine. Maybe not the office building, but the young kids, that's all great. I'm sure I sound like an a-hole, but I'm not trying to be. It's just you're all excited. I was already licensed. I had put a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
I paid
Work,
to be
money, yeah, the whole thing, right?
time. Again, I'm away from Emily. I'm up in LA.
Yeah.
After the guy gives his spiel, he says, don't go home and tell your friends and family what we talked about, because they're gonna tell you it's a pyramid scheme.
Oh.
Sorry, assistant, bleep that. That's when I drove back to Cooper's house where I was staying when I was in LA, called Emily and said, I think, and I was heartbroken. First the nursing, now I think heartbroken.
Well, you had your hopes up, right? And then you go there and it's this huge disappointment. But the good thing is, it once again in your life showed you what you didn't want.
100%.
Right? And
Yes.
so all of a sudden it now, because of your values and because of the way you were raised, right? You are flying in the face of all the values that you were raised with. And you're looking at it going, no, absolutely not. Right? Because money for the sake of money is how the financial services industry and banking and all the stuff we've talked about, that's how we got to where we are.
Exactly.
Okay. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. Part of this podcast is educating people, right?
Yeah.
And that's what this is about. And I know you're all about that, right? So that's why, and I sort of, just so you know, I sort of had an inkling from what you said your experience was like. I sort of had an inkling as to what it was like. And I know exactly who the company is. They'll remain nameless, okay? Yep. But they're all about money for sake of money, and they're churning and burning. That's all they're doing.
You can't even
like what you described the medical industry as being. And by the way, just so you know, I just recently had a conversation for over an hour with the chief of staff of one of the largest hospitals in California. In fact, one of the largest hospitals in the nation. And he was telling me about how healthcare is dropping in terms of quality.
Oh, man.
And a great deal of it, he told me, was because of nursing. Because of the lack of nursing that's out there.
So I have a lot of nurses as clients. I have such a soft spot for them, obviously.
Absolutely.
Talk about Emily's mom.
Yeah,
she was here visiting. I'm still, Emily passed away 4 years ago. She's still like a mom to me. We're still very, very close. She's been a ER nurse for 40 years.
Yeah. I'm sorry about Emily, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a hard one.
Sorry.
And we can talk about it if you want. I mean,
It's up to you.
um,
Sometimes it helps people if you talk about it, but it's up to you.
I'll talk about it. I mean, maybe it will. Yeah, but I was gonna say just M's mom, the story she has now and the stuff she has to go. I mean, just think about a hospital. Now they have to get certain quality scores from the patients to get certain funding or the max level of insurance payments. And all of this is meant to be regional specific. I don't know, but these people are there most of them are just seeking drugs, calling her the B word, spitting in her face. I mean, but they've got to maintain those satisfaction scores. Talk about the burnout these poor people are going through. And you don't get into nursing. I mean, you get into nursing because you are a nurturer and you care and you want to help patients. And when they're telling you to turn people over, get the beds turning and burning, I mean,
faster, faster, faster. Yeah.
It's a mess. And of course, this could be a whole nother podcast, but privatized insurance, privatized healthcare for the masses, get out of here. What scumbag decided that was okay?
Yeah, I agree.
And liberal, conservative, whatever, you don't want to spend money on it. Wait till your mom's dying in a hospice bed and it costs $650 a day. Tell me if you want some freaking socialist global healthcare. I mean, it's just quality of life. You want the quality of life for the masses? Should we be educated on avoiding credit card debt and finances? I mean, this is America. Finances equal health, safety, security. And the lack of that equates to the lack of that. Mental stress, physical stress, stress for your kids. I mean, the good news is,
man. You're not wrong.
The good is with a little bit of education, be it a rigged system or not, you can figure out how to live a kind, happy, healthy, you just stick to your little universe or large universe, whatever you want to say. Kind of realize it's a education lacked rigged system and then figure out how to maneuver in it, in a decent way through and with kindness, But yeah, I got a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. If you can tell.
That's okay, man. That's okay. You've earned it. You've earned it. So, do you want to talk about Emily for a minute?
If we're talking about my life, it's impossible to talk about it without talking about her.
Yeah.
So,
sounds like it.
I'll just go to the beginning. Let's see. I don't even know what year it was. I'm 41 in a month. I met her when I was 20. She was 18 at a restaurant I worked at during college, my first 6 or 7 years in research. I still had to work always in a restaurant to make money. Right down the street from where my office is here. So there was a little restaurant. Mike, I swear to God, I walked out one day and she was interviewing with one of the managers at a booth. I can still tell you what she was wearing. I mean, this must have been 16 years ago, I guess. I mean, I talk about love at first sight. I don't want to be banal or trite, but it was at least lust at first sight. I mean, damn, she was beautiful. She had this energy. She got hired. P.S. At that point in time in her life, worst employee ever. She was so damn cute, it didn't matter. But God, when she's the worst employee. She got hired as a delivery driver. But I just knew I had to get it. I had to have her. She was so beautiful inside and out. And then you find out she's got good taste in music, is articulate, reads. I mean, holy smokes.
Right.
Took me 2 years, by the way. I mean, she didn't even know who I was for 2 years. And I told her, I'm like, you're going to be mine one day. And she was like, who are you? I was like, I'm Birk. She was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Anyways, like I said to Molly the other day, I mean, I grew on her like a fungus and, I got it. And loving my life. Together 12 years. An absolutely gorgeous girl, but also on the inside.
Yeah.
I think so. She grew up in a little alfalfa farming town called Fallon, Nevada. Any Burning Man people out there? I'm not.
I know exactly where Fallon is. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So she grew up playing with like dirt and scorpions. I mean, if she'd grown up in Orange County, she probably would have. I always said, you don't even know how beautiful you are, and I'm so thankful that that's the case, because she was a genuine, decent person. She had no pettiness. She was a good girlfriend. I mean, girlfriend to me, the girlfriend to her actual girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't any cattiness or pettiness or passive aggressiveness. She was funny as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this absolutely gorgeous woman was the biggest goofball ever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 12 years. I mean, that's just 12 years of inside jokes, a lot of laugh, wiggle worming on the couch. She would wiggle worm and wrestle with. I mean, she was tiny, just the cutest.
Mm-hmm.
When she was 20, so we had just kind of started dating, she got just adult onset epilepsy, and we don't know why. But man, Mike, she would have these freaking vicious, they used to be called grand mal, now they call them clonic tonic, but she would have these awful freaking seizures. And a lot of people with epilepsy, they have something called an aura. So they can feel whether it's clonotonic, whether it's passing seizure, but they can feel it coming, meaning they can pull over, they can lay down, they can cushion. Emily was there, and then she was having a massive seizure, and I probably saw her have 40 of these things. I mean,
That had to have been
I
rough.
literally died a little bit inside every time I saw her in that condition. And
I
of
can
course,
imagine.
when she came out of it, she felt very sick. It took a good amount of time to what I would call a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
I've been with her for years and years and years. It took her one time it took her 2 hours to remember who I was.
Hmm.
We were about to drive to dinner. She had a big one in the passenger seat of the car. When she came to, I think she thought she had been abducted. I was chasing her around the car, being like, Emily, it's me, it's me. And she was looking at me like, 2 hours. Usually it took maybe 20 minutes, but they were terrifying. I won't get into it too much. Back to the medical. I mean, talk about being let down. I mean, right before she passed, we were working with the neurologist and trying to get in and being pushed aside. I mean, the last neurologist appointment, because there was 3 neurologists,
Mm-hmm.
he was so dismissive. I said, something's going to happen to this amazing woman, and I'm going to come back here and burn this place down.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. Something did, and I didn't. I mean, she died the day before she was supposed to meet with the most important neurologist, the sleep neurologist, to give her the proper medication. I mean, I would call and beg and plead to get in early. And they were like, no, you got to wait 4 weeks. We can't see anybody. I'm like, anyways,
No excuse for that stuff.
it's just a mess. They're doing what they know how to do
Mm-hmm.
in the capacity and the parameters of how they have to do it. That this is the doctors.
Right.
They can't see us as people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the time or the funding or the insurance code to put down actual person, fiance looks like he's terrified that
Mm-hmm.
she's that's not there's no insurance code for that. They can't get billed for that, right?
Yeah.
We went up at the same time Emily was having this big seizure cluster. So this is about October of 2019. My mom is going through the last rounds of her chemo. And so I'm up in LA a lot because she's super sick, lives by herself. My mother, she never remarried or anything. So one weekend I had to go back up to LA. Last minute, mom went to the emergency room. It wasn't planned. And Emily actually was able work-wise to come with me. We're driving home from LA. It's Sunday night. She's like, holy shit. Sorry, Birk. I didn't realize quite how intense this is.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do? And I said, Emily, you are the other half of my freaking soul. All I need you to do is take care of yourself and be there for me.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning, Monday, we wake up. I get ready for the office. I'm actually having a meeting with our good friends, Jamie and Jason, Emma and Maya's good friends. They're still very good friends, good clients. And Emma's like, you know what? I didn't sleep very well. I don't feel very good. That was kind of a trigger for a seizure, not sleeping well. I'm going to see if I can clear the first half of my day. So she called her assistant, cleared the first half. I call her from the office. She answers. She says, good news. I got the whole day cleared. I said, okay, baby, you just stay in bed. I don't want her walking around and stuff. Because again, she didn't have any aura. Like she could be at the refrigerator drinking a glass of water and one of these seizures would have been dangerous. Right. Okay, I'll stay in bed. Probably said I love you 15 times. I'll see you soon. I'm gonna come home right after Jamie and Jason. Love you, love you, love you. Bye, bye, bye. I get out of that meeting and she's not answering her phone.
Mm.
And I just know something's not right. I literally Mario Andretti race home. Long story short, she decided to take a bath by herself. That was her place of comfort. She shouldn't have done it alone. Knew that, and she had a seizure and drowned in the bathtub. In a little bathtub took the absolute like soul and light of my life. And yeah, talk about a lot of life. Was a woman who touched a lot of people's lives through her business. Probably had 300 clients that were family. Amazing mom, dad, stepdad who helped raise her, baby brother, 2 nephews that are like my nephew. I mean, talk about the wake and the consequences of, and I know that Emily she knew she shouldn't have taken a bath by herself, but she probably felt so awful. She just wanted some comfort. That was her happy place. There is some solace knowing that she probably sat in a hot bath, went, "This feels freaking good," and then transitioned.
Yeah.
Didn't feel a seizure coming on. There wasn't pain in this moment of that seizure. She was shut down.
Yeah.
So I imagine her last thought was probably like, "Damn, this bath feels good," and then transitioned. But shit. Yeah, we're coming up on the 4-year. I hate the word anniversary for someone's past, but whatever. Anniversary.
Well, 4-year mark. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing's really been the same since. You know, you find out how tough you are, that's for sure. She used to say, "What would you do if something happened to me?" And I'd be like, "I will crumble and frickin' turn to dust without you."
Mm-hmm.
You know? But you don't have that option.
Yeah.
You don't have that option. Luckily, I've got amazing, amazing, amazing people in my life and a high volume of them. Like we're very blessed. I've got groups of brothers from grade school, high school. I've got new groups of people from San Diego that are like brothers to me. I was the best man in my buddy's wedding on Saturday. This is someone I met at a networking group here in San Diego a few years ago. I mean, I've been blessed to have a lot of love and I was just writing my daily gratitude journal, nerd. I'm just very blessed to have such support and love. And man, going through that saved my life. I mean, 2 weeks later, my mom went on hospice and deteriorated in a hospice bed for 6 weeks and passed. So Emily, December 16th, 2019, my mom, February 25th of 2020. And then COVID hit, what, a month later?
Right.
I mean, good Lord. It was yeah. So I'm not trying to make this a sad podcast. I cannot talk about my life without Emily. I wouldn't be, or my mom. I mean, talk about shaping me. I mean, but Emily, you would have loved her. That's all I can ever say. A lot of people in my life knew her and loved her. I mean, a lot of my best friends were like big brothers to her. Sister. I mean, she was that lovable, but it's hard when you get to meet a lot of new people and you're like, shoot, you would have loved Emily and vice versa, you know?
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah. Life is crazy, man.
But I guarantee you telling this story is going to help people. I guarantee it.
I'll tell you what, if you get feedback, will you let me know? Because that would make me happy. Or if there's any people suffering from epilepsy or whatever, if they need anything, or if you're a partner of somebody suffering from epilepsy. I mean, I became an expert on this stuff after 12 years.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord, we actually donated her brain, which is so sad to think about. Not sad, but like, never mind. But we donated her brain to the Epilepsy Foundation, and they did find some interesting stuff. Maybe that one day could help.
That'd be so cool.
She would have loved that. Emily was such a freaking giver. I mean, yeah.
That's awesome, buddy. That's awesome. Well, thank you for telling your story. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I hate to end on such a sad note, but
No, buddy, listen,
no, I mean,
it's a sad thing that happened, but your recovery from it is a victory. Okay. And the fact that you're telling her story and you're telling your mom's story and you're relating to people, like you're being really vulnerable right now, that's a big deal. And that's not a negative. Okay. That's not a negative. And I guarantee you right now, people are listening to you and you're helping them. I promise you. And any feedback we get, we'll be happy to forward to you. And like I said, I'm looking forward to meeting you and getting together and interviewing you for the book. And I absolutely cannot thank you enough for being here and doing this. You have an amazing story, bud, and you're a walking inspiration. You really are. And I'm super proud of you.
well, that means that means more to me than you'll probably ever know, man.
Well,
So
thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being on the Mike Litton Experience, buddy.
my pleasure, man. Thanks so much.
Take care. Have an amazing day today.
You too. I appreciate it, man. I
Take
do.
care.
Goodbye.
We hope you enjoyed another episode of the Mike Litton Experience. If you did, do us a favor, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about our program, and wherever you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating. It helps us to connect with quality people just like you.
And that's a wrap. Another episode of the Mike Litton Experience in the books. Reach out to Mike on Instagram at Litton Realty. Want to meet with Mike? Check out calendly.com/Rio760.